Margaret Goodman joins us on the Harris Hospital Spotlight, one of two spotlights that we do at Harris Hospital, and good to see you, classmate.
I'm telling you.
We were sitting at the same table last night planning our little reunion that we have coming up.
So glad you didn't mention the year.
Well, it's a 74, and y'all do the math out there, and you can tell.
Because we're not telling you.
You know, we were in the second grade during this time. We're going to join the class of 74
exactly
as
right.
they celebrate their 40-year
That's
class
right.
reunion coming up this fall. How's that?
That's great.
So Senior Circle is still in full swing and
Yes.
circling around the globe, I guess you would say. What's going on with y'all's end of the world?
We are planning some really nice trips for this summer, and I want to talk about those two trips.
All
We
right.
have a 7-day Alaskan cruise that we're going to go on in August. It's August the 22nd through the 30th. The cost is $24.99, and it is an awesome trip. We do all kinds of things, and of course, I've been on this cruise, so this is a pretty cool trip. And if you're interested, I need you to give me a call. We only have to have a minimum of 12 to go on this trip.
Okay.
Usually we have to have at least 30, so we don't on this trip, so we're excited about that. The other trip that I'm excited about is Cape Cod, and that's a motor coach tour, and we're going to go in September when the foliage is all changing and the
beautiful.
colors. It's going to be a great time. That is a very inexpensive trip. It's a 10-day trip. We have to have about 20 to go, and it's $1,029 for 10 days.
Okay.
We'll get to visit the famous Kennedy. You know, we're going to go to Hyannisburg and visit
Right.
all that and see all that interesting things that this little country girls never got to see. So that'll be pretty exciting.
You guys at Senior Circle put together these trips, and most of them make,
Yes.
and then when people go, I mean, it becomes the talk of the town. When they
Yes.
get back, it's always the talk of the town. So these trips are like a lot of work to line them up, but a lot of great pleasure by those that attend.
Oh, and that's true, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because they're also open to the public. You know, as long as you're 18 and you want to go and visit with my seniors and be on the trip with my seniors, you can benefit with these great prices because they give us some absolutely wonderful prices for these trips. I've actually tried to book these trips without the tour guide and see if we could get the same price. We can't. So we're excited that they can give us such a great deal. So if you're interested, and even if you're not age 50, which you have to be a Senior Circle member, I would love to have you because we have a ball. We really do have a good time.
Speaking of Senior Circle, talk a little bit about, you know, and we have for years, what is Senior Circle? What do we do and what do we have to offer and how much does it cost to do it? So
We have lots of things to offer. We give discounts on everything, including in our hospital and also in our community. It costs $15 if you're single, $25 or $27 for a couple. And all you have to do is call me, 870-512-3030. We would love to have you. We're actually going tonight to do one of our supper clubs, which
Right.
we go to a local restaurant and we eat, you know, fellowship, have a good time. It's always a lot of fun. You know, they tell me I have the best job, and I have to agree, I do. You know, it's a great group of people. It's a fun group to be with, and I really enjoy them.
Well, there's no doubt that the fellowship part of getting together with folks and enjoying, you know, the stories, whether they're weekly or monthly or whenever, you know,
Exactly.
you get to catch up. You might not normally in your everyday work schedule. A lot of the folks in the Senior Circle don't work, but maybe
That's
they
right.
volunteer their times a lot of places, especially here.
That's right.
But it just gives you a great opportunity to get to visit with folks.
Yes, and then they get to, you know, we get benefits from, when you're in
Absolutely.
a Senior Circle group, you get benefits. There are discounts you get. Locally, one of the newest one is our new Subway
Right.
in the Walmart. They're offering a 10% discount to those that are Senior Circle members, so that's great. You know, that's you know, when you're my
Another
age,
advantage.
drive by there, pick up supper, and take it home. You know, it's awesome. I love it.
At your age.
Senior. Senior.
Senior Margaret Manuel Goodman is
That's
a
right.
senior citizen, and that's okay.
Exactly.
It sure beats the alternative, doesn't it?
Amen.
Margaret, good to see you. I got to
to
visit
see
with you
you.
last night. Had a great meeting. We talked about it at the beginning of the program, class of 1974, having a big 40-year reunion coming up. We're looking forward to that.
Yes, we are. And please call us, one of us, please. We are so excited. If you have anybody that you know that's one of our classmates, put out the word for us. We want to get everybody involved.
Let us know. We'd like to have a good one. And going to be several of them going on. I mean, I know there's a 10, a 20, a 30, a 35, a 40, maybe a 50, and anyway, everybody's going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I laughed and said that David, we went 20 and then we didn't do anything else, you know. And I said, David's scared that we're not going to make it to the 50th, so he's going to have a 40th.
So we're going to have one. we might not get there for the 50th. We're going to have 40.
That's
Good to see you, Margaret.
Good to see you too, David.
Let's continue on with more of the Business Spotlight. Rebecca Payroll joins us to talk a little further about Harris Hospital and some of the good things, the great things that are going on here. And good to see you, girl.
Good to see you again.
We talked a little bit prior to coming on here about some of the things that y'all are implementing here. We've got a couple of things that we really need to talk about it. Girl, you have the floor. You go right at it. Let's talk.
Well, I am very, very excited to be able to introduce our patient portals. That is the biggest, newest, I guess, amenity that we have for patients here at Harris Hospital. And so I want to tell you all about that. How many of you have ever been to your doctor's office or been a patient in the hospital and thought, man, I sure would like to see that chart they're looking at? Haven't you ever just wondered?
All of us. I'd like to know what's on there.
And think, what are they writing in there? What are they putting? So we have the ability now for all of our patients to be able to access their medical records online. So we think that's really going to be a huge benefit to our patients as consumers. So we call that patient portal. Next time you come into Harris Hospital, you'll be asked if you want to register for the patient portal. And this is some of the flyers that you'll see around. There's a poster in every room. And what this will allow you to do is access your inpatient records, test results, medications, procedures, discharge instructions. Of course, it's all free. This is just a really extra that we're doing in encouraging patients to take more of an active role in their own health. So we have hospital patient portal, and then also whenever you go to any of the clinics and you see a doctor, there is a clinic patient portal. So anytime you go to one of our physicians, you'll be given one of these here and asked if that's something that you might like to sign up to do. You can register for the clinic patient portal. They'll give you a PIN number here and write it down. It's all completely secure. You know, that's one of the big questions.
Everybody would question that. Absolutely.
To know. You can, with the clinic patient portals, you can send messages to your doc. You can make appointments through the portal, and they'll also give you, if you want to receive texts on your telephone, they'll send you a reminder text about your appointment on your phone. So it's really exciting here in Jackson County that we're just on the latest technology.
Technological age is here, and there's no doubt, I mean, tremendous advantages, and you're right, when you go to the doctor or you go to the hospital and then you don't really know what's said behind closed doors or whatever, and you don't ever get to see what's in that final report, but you always, you get a good explanation even at Harris Hospital or anywhere else in the country. But boy, something like this where you can really see it in black and white is great technology. Here's a question for you. It's an online service. It's an online, you have to have a computer, you have to have some access to that. Anything available if you don't have online, or if you don't have, what happens? I mean, there are some of us that maybe don't have a computer system or an email address.
Right.
How do you handle that?
Well, what we would encourage everyone to do is start, if you have, say, elderly family members that you take care of, if you have parents that you're the caregiver of perhaps, go ahead and sign them up with an email address. For themselves, and then a caregiver, say a child that's taking care of their elderly adult. We know 80-year-old patients, a lot of them don't care or don't want to access their medical records online.
Correct,
but a child of a parent of that age that's their caregiver, they may really be
I
interested
bet you they
in
want
that.
them.
So if the patient gives that permission to be able to do that and list the caregiver, their child, or as their parent, to be a representative is what it's called, then they can list them as representatives to be able to access their medical records. Just sort of like whenever you come into the hospital and they list out who that the doctors and nurses can discuss their medical situation with, which family members they want to have access to that.
Well, anyway, government standards have gotten good. I mean, they're good because they have tremendous protections for the consumer. Lots of protections here for the consumer, trying to give the consumer as much information as possible.
That's right. That's the whole reason behind it.
Wonderful, wonderful program for those of us who would like to know and need to know. I mean, when you go in, and I'm sitting there just thinking, I say, I'd like to know what the doctor wrote down on that particular visit. I know he told me I had a sore throat and needed a shot, but they write, and I'm assuming that what you see there is normal terminology and terminology that can be read by the layman, and there are some doctor's terms that they have to use in some medical reports, but.
And you know, if there are discharge instructions
right,
that you may forget, or if you lose your folder once you discharge from the hospital, that's another opportunity to go on and say, look at the discharge instructions and what did they tell me to do, and was I supposed to follow up with the doctor, or what was I supposed to do here?
Yeah, when did I come back?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we feel like it is really going to be beneficial to our patients, and that's what we just really want, the best for all of our patients.
So tell me again, when you come in, you requested, will somebody mention this to us? Will they mention that this is available?
Yes, when you come in through registration, the registration department, and that is, if you've ever come in through registration, you're sick. You need to get into the hospital.
Want to
they have
see somebody.
Ask you all of these questions and get you signed up and ask your insurance information and on and on and on and on. This is one of those questions that they'll ask you if you want to register for the patient portal, so that whenever you discharge, within 36 hours, your medical records will be available to you if that's something you desire. Sometimes patients aren't interested at that point because you're sick.
You're sick.
You don't care.
Yeah,
right
you get feeling
then.
better, you will be.
And so you may go on into the hospital. So at several points of contact, you may encounter nurses or even doctors or lab staff that are coming to draw your blood, kind of reinforcing that, hey, do you know about the capability that we have here now? Because lab results are another aspect that will be posted online.
Wow.
So if how many times have you been out having conversations and your caregiver as your child may ask an elderly parent, now what they say your blood sugar was?
Absolutely. And you go, well, I don't remember, and then gives you a way to remember. That's great stuff. That's good stuff.
Well, we are really excited about it and want to encourage all of our patients to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yes. Well, just to come in, and when they ask, I would say, sign up, folks. You have nothing to lose. It's free of charge, and it's a tremendous advantage, but it's just another advantage that you get when you do business with the hometown hospital, Harris Hospital. And girl, you've always got great information. I appreciate you. Anything else we need to talk about today?
We have Relay for Life coming up April 11th.
Okay.
And Harris Hospital is a sponsor of that. We sponsor the Survivor Walk and the Survivor Dinner. And we will also have a fundraising booth out there that night. We really want to be a partner with the Jackson County Relay for Life and support that. So I encourage everyone to come on out April 11th.
Tell us where all that's going to happen.
It's at the Village Mall this year, out in the parking lot there, and starts about 6:30.
Looking forward to that. It's always a pleasure to get to see you.
All right.
Rebecca Payroll, Marketing Director Extraordinaire at Harris Hospital, and we appreciate you taking time to visit with it each and every month.
Let's not go overboard.
Let's stay tuned for more of our show.